So we're going to get the lip fillers and the nose to get rid of my bump.
Okay. So have you ever had anything done like this before?
Never.
Right. Do you know a little bit about it?
I know some. I know there's different types of fillers.
Yeah.
And I know that they last for different amounts of time sometimes.
Okay. We'll talk about your lips to start with.
Yeah.
Tell me what it is that you'd like to get out of the filler, what you want them to look like.
A bit more full,
Yeah.
I'd quite like the top lip to be a little bit bigger and it to be a little bit bigger down here as well.
We want to look at the kind of the whole shape of the whole mouth.
Yeah.
To keep it as natural looking as possible. So obviously you want, as you say, more fullness overall.
Yeah.
You've got a lovely shaped mouth to start with, so for me that makes my job a lot easier.
Okay.
If we just sort of put loads of filler just in like the top lip or the bottom lip, it would make them look unbalanced. So for most people, the top lip a little bit less volume than the bottom lip, and that's normal.
Yeah.
If we put a lot more volume in the top lip and made it the same size as the bottom lip, then that would look a little bit false.
Yeah.
So it's about keeping the proportions. So we want to enhance both of them so that both have got more volume, but the top is still slightly smaller than the bottom. Yeah. And then it looks more natural. Yeah. Then we need to look at the different parts of the lips. If we think about this as the white bit here, and then this is the red bit, the edge bit is the vermilion border, and that's like a little narrow tunnel. We put filler into there. That will bring the edge of the lip out a little bit and sharpen up the edge, and that's quite nice to have some in there.
Yeah.
But if we put too much in there, then it tends to bulge out into this white bit above. Yeah. And you'll see people.
Yeah, I've seen people with that.
And particularly from the profile view, it comes out too much and it looks
fake.
Yeah. So we want to avoid that. So a little bit, really nice, too much, not so good.
Yeah, definitely.
Then we've got the body of the lip, which is the red bit here, and so we want to put some in there, and that's fine. Yeah. Then we've got the cupid's bow, so you've got a nice cupid's bow here, and we want to put a little bit into here, define that a little bit, because that makes it look quite kind of pouty, and that's a nice look. Then the bottom lip, for most people, you've got a natural little bit of a dip in the middle here. And if we put the volume either side so that it dips into the middle, again we call that heart-shaped lips, that's quite nice as well. Say it's going to dip in the middle, we're only talking a real tiny little bit of a hint. Yeah. And the lip naturally does that, and that's a nice look as well. You haven't got any obvious asymmetry, because that's the other thing that you'd look at, so you not need to, but there's nothing there. Now the lips are naturally quite sensitive, so we want to make it as comfortable as possible. So fortunately the lip fillers are mixed with an anaesthetic. As we put the filler in, they'll numb up as we go along. But we will put lots of numbing cream on it, which is we'll use some ice as we go along as well. You will be swollen. You're going to be swollen probably for the next 24 hours, and that's just the nature of lips. And then they'll go down again. Okay, happy? Yeah. Your nose, let's have a look at your nose. It's only a little bit that you've got, but all we do is it just this little bit here? Yeah. Okay. So, what a filler can do is it can't take a nose down, but it can just bring things out to make it look smooth. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So, we have a little bit of a dip here, so if we put some filler in there, it just brings it out and makes it look straight there. Yeah, perfect. And that's what we do, just put some filler there. Easy peasy. We've got a couple of forms to go through with you, Ellie, actually. One is the medical history, then we've got a consent form, and then we've got tick boxes here for you to go through. And then on the back here, you just need to look at the top box here, because these boxes here are just for any future treatments. Now what you're signing here is you're signing to say, yes, that's my medical history. Okay. So that's the first form. Now, the second form, this is the consent form to your treatment. So we're going to be doing 2 dermal fillers, one in your nose and one in your lips, using a Juvederm Volift. One is a half filler, which is going to be plenty for your nose, and the other is a 1 ml filler. So one is 1 ml, one is 0.5 mils, which is a half filler. The fillers are made of a substance called hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid is actually a natural substance that we all make in our own bodies. Now, although the fillers are manufactured in a lab, they mimic what we actually have in our bodies. The beauty of that is not only do they do a very good job at what we want, but if we were to have a rare complication, although it is very rare thankfully, we can dissolve the stuff away. So you hear occasionally about problems within the lips. Lips are increasingly popular treatment these days, but the thing is about these lip fillers is that if you got a problem with them, you can just dissolve them away. Now the thing is that the problems, if you know what you're doing with them and you're careful with them, is that they are extremely rare to start with. Now the sorts of things that we're talking about are if the filler went into a little blood vessel, the most likely thing is that you'd get a bruise. The mouth and the lips are a very vascular area, so it is quite a high risk area in terms of bruising, so you could get some bruising. It's a very, what we describe as a vascular area. You are also likely to get some swelling. But if that filler then went into a blood vessel and it lodged inside that vessel and it blocked it off, you could get an area of tissue that can't get a blood supply, and that's a serious complication. It's extremely rare. If that was to happen, then we would need to dissolve the filler immediately. It happens more in people that are having loads and loads of filler. And then more filler a week later, and then a couple of weeks later they have some more filler, and they've got these massive lips. Those are the problems that we are seeing with these girls that are getting great big lips. It doesn't mean to say that there is absolutely no risk of you having this complication having never had a lip filler before, but it means your risk is much smaller. But if you put lots and lots of filler in over too short a time, you're squashing the lips up, so it means the risk is higher. The other complication is infection. Now, infection can happen months later. It can happen 6 months later, 9 months later. One of the reasons that we're doing an in-depth medical history is to make sure that we don't think you're at risk of any infection at the moment. So there's certain key questions that we've got on there to sort of filter anything out. But if you did get an infection, it's all completely treatable, and we would just say, come back to us, we'll look after you. Feel a little tiny bump, and it's going to be the size of a grain of rice or a piece of sugar. It is tiny. And they're going to just go on their own. You might get one little lump that stays, and then you'll be able to massage that away. But after a week or so, you'll gradually massage that away, and it'll just be a little cluster of blood cells or something. If you get swelling, which you will, but it'll probably be generalised, but it might be that one side swells a bit more than another side. That's common. So you might think tomorrow, my lips look a bit uneven. Yeah, they might do, but then it will just all even out. If you ring me up, that's absolutely fine. You can ring me up, you can send me pictures, we'll talk you through anything, you can come back, we can review it. But anything that was looking a bit uneven, we wouldn't worry about for a couple of weeks, because we just allow things to settle down. And most things just settle themselves down. Bruising's common, swelling is very common, lumps and bumps are common, unevenness is common, but this is usually after the first day. It's looking an awful lot better. If it's quite swollen, it's going to feel a bit hard, like it's stretched, and then it suddenly feels a lot better, and it feels much softer. After a few days, they're going to feel like you again and just feel all normal, and you're going to be putting your lip liner on and your lipstick, and you're going to be all handsome. But you're having 1 ml of filler, and that is quite a subtle look. It's not going to be massive, but tomorrow it's going to look quite big. And then it's going to go down. If you decided you wanted more filler and you wanted it to look bigger, then we'd be waiting probably at least a couple of months before we put any more filler in, for safety reasons, and that's talking about these blood vessels not wanting to have a problem with those. Have you got any questions?
I don't think so.
No. You're happy so far?